known for having one of the best IFBB senior pro bodies the world has ever seen. His ripped body and rippling abs are a testament to what can be achieved with years of research, dedication, and good nutrition. In the 1970s and 1980s, he competed for titles such as Mr. Venice Beach. In 2011, he returned and proved to everyone that bodybuilding is still alive. Andreas' love and passion stayed with him throughout his life. But Andreas did not start with bodybuilding as his first sport. He was a junior champion in judo and devoted himself to freestyle wrestling. At the age of 17, he moved to Japan and trained with the elite police force in Japan, winning titles and earning a black belt. Junior wrestling champion in Japan. In Andreas' early days, he competed in a variety of wrestling styles, including freestyle and Greco-Roman. At the age of 17, he moved to Japan and earned a black belt in judo. He learned the language and enjoyed a different culture, absorbing new and wonderful experiences here. He recalls the excitement of being in a new country and being part of a wrestling team in Japan. To learn their training style and embrace their deep and rich culture. Andreas also recalls that he had the opportunity to train with the riot police. Andreas also worked at a German bar in Osaka called Edelweiss. This gave Andreas the opportunity to live in Japan and continue his love of wrestling. He continued to wrestle in the Japanese Freestyle League, representing Momoyama University in Osaka. He also entered the senior level of the Japanese Wrestling Championships at the age of 18, but was eliminated. It was actually at the age of 11 that Andreas began strength training, which he knew was the key to winning and dominating his wrestling competitors. This understanding of strength later grew into a love of bodybuilding. Moving to California's Gold's Gym. After some time living and enjoying his youth in Japan, Andreas moved back to Sweden, where he was originally born. After his return, he participated in the Swedish Judo Championship, where he won the youth title. Realizing the importance of strength training to improve all sports performance, Andreas became addicted to strength training, especially in bodybuilding. After further experimenting with strength training, his passion for strength continued to grow. He knew that there was a bodybuilding movement in America at the time, especially the world-famous Gold's Gym in Long Beach, California. He hopped on a plane and moved to California, where he remembers walking into the original Gold's Gym just 2 hours after getting off the plane. It's clear that Andreas was serious about his fitness and training. Competing in the 70s and 80s. Andreas was lucky enough to live during the golden era of bodybuilding, where he trained with the likes of Arnold, Rick Drayson, and many others. The atmosphere and energy of Gold's Gym has not been repeated since. He enjoyed a long career on stage and was featured in numerous health and fitness magazines and advertisements. Andreas even owned his own swimwear store in California, which became very successful in the late 1970s. In 1976, Andreas won first place in the beach competition Mr. Venice, and a year later, he took second place in 1977 Mr. World for IFBB. In 1978, he placed a respectable 5th in the IFBB Mr. World Amateur Championship. Continuing his love of competition, Andreas placed 6th in the 1978 IFBB Mr. International, but the very next year he worked harder to beat most of the competition. In 1979, he finished second in the IFBB Mr. International. In the same year, Andreas participated in the IFBB European Men's Championships, where he placed third, making a comeback. In 1980, at the peak of Andreas' career, he won first place in the IFBB Mr. International. Andreas continued to compete all the way from 1981 to 1993. He made a successful return to bodybuilding in 2011 at the IFBB Pro World Masters Championships, and again in 2012, where he placed 16th overall at the IFBB Masters Olympia and Pro World at the age of 59. Andreas proved that a healthy mix of consistency, passion, and enthusiasm can produce amazing results. The key to longevity. Here's Andreas talking about the key to longevity. A lot of it is genetic and hormonal. Nutrition and exercise are also key components, along with a positive attitude and gratitude for the little things in life. The ability to appreciate, we need to take care of ourselves the way we would a classic car, and be smart about our exercising. No need to run yourself into the ground. Featured film. Davis Sandberg's Kung Fury features Andreas as Thor. The film is an action and martial arts comedy based on the classic martial arts and police films of the 1980s. The director wrote to Andreas after seeing him online and said he would be perfect to play the character of Thor. Needless to say, Andreas immediately accepted and flew to Sweden. He was the only hired actor on set. Facial tumor. There was a lot of talk about Andreas' Suff's video. Thanks for watching. Remember to like the video and also don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel.